Hey guys, this is Wayne, the ability coach, and I want to tell you something that I've been thinking about or been allowed to think about in a sense. Learning how to use your authority. Uh, I don't want you to take it the wrong way. You know, people tend to take this word authority and manipulate it into what they would think as authority. You know, maybe coming down on people or misusing leadership and stuff. But authority is what you are given by God, what God is giving you to be able to govern situations that's in your reach. Um, and sometimes because we have that authority, we don't know how to use it. We don't know when to use it, how to use it, where to use it, and what it comes along with. So there are times where you can be in places and you're not meant to be there. Meaning, like you know how if you go to a hotel and you see security area or you see unauthorized authorized user or authorized only people, well, you know, that type of location, you meant to be in the place, but you may not have access to go back into the unauthorized area. So it's the same thing when it comes to our lives. There are places that we can go, but we may not have access to. We may not have the authority to go in those places. So I'm looking at this from another perspective where it comes with using your authority in places that you're supposed to be using it. So, you know, as you go to work, when you a worker or an employee or someone that is starting at the lower level in your job, you don't have access to what the supervisor and any other management or leadership has because you only are at the low level. So that's the same thing when it comes to us in the spirit, but also us in our lives, with people with our in our lives. We don't have certain authority in places where that does not allow us to go into. So think about this with everything in your life. What are places you have been operating illegally that you take on the burdens, you take on the things that comes along with this position, but it's wearing and tearing you down. It's causing confusion, it's causing chaos amongst yourself, within yourself, and probably around the people that you're with. So you will have to find out where you can use your authority. Only place you can find that out is through talking with God. Find out where you can use your authority and what your authority can do and what type of grace you have by using your authority in places and in spaces and with people to see a better outcome. Because you may be in scripture, it shows you where Moses at first did not have the authority to go talk to Pharaoh. Now, granted, yes, we know the story of Moses, but Moses at one point in time did not have the same level of authority and the level of access and the level of grace to go get the children of Israel out of Egypt because he didn't have certain qualifications that God needed him, what that God would have needed him at the time being. So because he didn't know his authority, God gave him authority and gave him the grace and gave him the favor so that he can now draw out and get the people out of Egypt. Now, when you look at other scriptures in Bible, there are places where prophets have had the authority in places based off what God has given them. God has given them certain graces and certain favor and certain authority to go and take over lands, to speak his word, to show signs and wonders to those that did not believe or those that needed more faith in God. Now, I'm saying that it goes with our lives now. This goes with our lives today. We are graced with certain things. We have favor in certain things. We have authority in certain things. So some places where you may not need to be in, like for instance, if you don't know that you got the authority to help someone or to be in someone's life and someone's lives, people's lives, then you would not understand your authority in those people's lives. The same thing in the sense of you may not need to be in certain people's lives because you may not have certain authority in those people's lives. So you may not need to help everyone, but you can help some people. You catch what I'm saying? So if your authority is in the wrong place, then that means you're operating illegally in places that you shouldn't be operating in. You can look at in your life if you operating illegally in people's lives, family, friends, associates, just giving your authority in places where you should not be in, and then you take on the responsibilities of what that particular situation has when you should not have ever been in that place. So I'm coming to you today is to start to have you to think about, where are you using your authority at that you have illegally accessed it? And where are places that you should be using your authority that you don't know about? Because it comes with a level of grace, it comes with a level of favor, and it comes with a certain level of understanding when it's dealing with your authority. Ask God to find out where your authority lies and where you should and should not be using it. Because that same place is where you got grace and you got favor. Y'all take care.